Okay, I'm back. Okay, so thank you for tuning in today. This is Cafe Talk Unfiltered Truth, and I'm your host, Miss Mina. And today I wanted to talk about Hurricane Summer, which is the November book club book that I read this month. And it was a very interesting read. So it's a lot of different concepts and different topics that I found very interesting. She touched on colorism. She touched on the father-daughter dynamic and how important it is for fathers' love in their daughter's life. It was very interesting, and I didn't expect to finish reading it as quickly as I did. So I'm definitely going to do a book review on it. So I pretty much took out a few quotes, which I posted throughout my page, that I thought was very interesting. And I'm trying to think of where I want to start, because there's so many different things that I felt was really important. And a lot of it made me sit back and think about my own relationships with the men in my life as I was growing up, and how it pretty much shaped how I looked at relationships. So that was one thing that I realized as I was reading this book. It's now one thing I'm not for sure. I'm not sure how old she was. I believe she was probably in like her late teens. Maybe I'd give her maybe like 18. I think she did say something about her senior year of high school. So she was probably in between 17, 18. She had a younger sister. So that's another thing that I thought about too, like my relationship with my siblings, and how that also played a role in different aspects of my life. But most of all, like the biggest concept that I got from it was like your emotions play a big role in the way that you deal with other people. So like on the front of the book, there's a quote that says, "Sometimes the story is inside of you," which touched on a lot of different things. Like for instance, sometimes you don't realize how deep. Okay, so I obviously just got cut off. I don't know why I just got cut off, but I did save part of that, so I think I'm going to use that as like a promotion type video. But we'll see. So again, I'm talking about the book Hurricane Summer, which is the November book club book that I started reading. It has a lot of different concepts that I believe are important to the young woman's experience. Excuse me. So it definitely talks about how a young woman comes into age, the different things that she experiences as she comes into womanhood. And I think that our relationship with our parents really dictates how we view the world around us. And I took out a few quotes that I thought were pretty interesting, and I posted those throughout. I think I'm gonna just leave what I wrote, or I mean what I said already, but there are a couple of questions that I have for the author for the book, in reference to like different things, and people, the readers as well. Like, do you believe that sheltering your children really protects them or ruins them. So again, I'm discussing some of the things that I found interesting in the book Hurricane Summer, which was my November book club read for this month. And the author is Asha Bromfield. She's an actress as well. And there are a lot of interesting concepts and topics that she discussed in this book, from colorism to the father-daughter dynamic, her relationship with her sister. I believe she was the oldest character. I believe she was about 17, 18, so there are some topics there. Pretty much her going into womanhood, expressing herself in different ways. Excuse me, I have a little person in the back. And one of the quotes from the book, which is actually on the cover of the book, it says, "Sometimes the storm is inside of you." So I took that to say, like, a lot of the times the storm is inside of you, and you don't really understand your emotions to the point that it's hard for you to maneuver throughout your life because you're unsure of how you're really feeling. Like, you may be taking on the feelings of others, which was something that I caught on to, because she was speaking on her mom and her, and how she felt like she was chasing her father for his love. So I feel like sometimes as women, we don't realize it. I think it happens indirectly, that sometimes we take on the feelings and emotions our mothers have towards our fathers, and we project that onto that relationship where it's not supposed to be that way. So it definitely made me think about different relationships that young women have with their dads, and how that affects how they move within their life. So that was interesting. The story takes place in Jamaica, so it definitely touched on some colorism aspects, but I don't feel like that's just something that happens in Jamaica. I feel like that happens all over. Like, I remember being in school, and I had light-skinned friends, and I never really paid it no attention, but until I got older and I started to realize, like, some of the things that we say, it really affects how people look at themselves. So one of the questions that I had was, how does a young woman come into perspective of themselves? Like, how do we see ourselves before we actually see ourselves? What causes that? How do we develop that sense of self? And a lot of the times it comes from the people around us. So I remember my friend was telling me, she was like, I never liked being called red, because she was light skinned. So a lot of the times you hear people say, like, red bone, stuff like that. Like, my grandmother used to hate for me to call my little cousins yellow, like different things like that. Like, those are harmful things to say to someone of any shade of color. So, and then you hear the darker people talk about, oh, you're dark, you're black, you're blacker than blue, whatever. Those are really harmful things to say to people, and she touched a lot on that, and how that dynamic really shapes the way we look at ourselves. So that was an interesting theme there. But overall, I feel like this is a really good book for young women to read. It touched on a lot of different subjects, coming into womanhood, how you don't really know your body yet, and we're not taught to learn our bodies the way that boys are taught to learn their bodies. So that can play a role in how we perceive certain advances. And I also said something, it was like another question or quote that I asked. Let me see. Is it the lack of wanting our fathers that leaves us desperate for attention for men? So, is it the lack of the relationship of not having a father that makes a woman desperate for that attention? You know, please let me know what you think about that. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, because that's something that I feel like should be discussed, and that was something that I felt strongly in this book. I felt like she was trying to chase her father's love, but also because she was taking on her mother's feelings for him. So I don't know. That was just like what I got from it. So, you know, please let me know what your thoughts are on that. But definitely, there are definitely some really good points that I found to be interesting and something that we should definitely talk about more in our community, especially with our young women. And learning to love yourself brings confidence in yourself. I feel like when you love yourself a lot more, you won't fall for the bullshit that other people are telling you. And that's just my logic. I mean, please let me know what you feel. I'm all for opinions. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, you know, but not everybody is entitled to agree with your opinion. So please let me know. You don't have to agree with me. You can have your own concept. Like I posted last night on my story. Like, do you feel like sheltering your kids protects them or ruins them? Because me personally, I feel like when you shelter your kids from certain things, it keeps them from knowing the truth, instead of just telling them the truth. Like, I feel like a lot of the stuff that I found out growing up, I didn't find out until I was older. And it was like, if you had told me this before, then maybe I wouldn't have made that mistake. I mean, we are all prone to making mistakes. So it's not like we're not going to make mistakes, but I feel like as parents that we should definitely give our children that, you know, that information so that they know. Like, I didn't know certain things about my parents until I got older. So, although my father has always been really, really honest with me, and my mom has too, to a certain extent, about certain things, and I have a deeper relationship with my dad because I can talk to him about pretty much anything without ever having to second guess me asking. It's not going to be well, why did you ask me that type of questions. Like, I was always able to ask him about certain things. And a lot of women are squeamish about talking to their children about certain things, and I don't think that they should be. But also, you know, we also have to keep in consideration that not every parent had parents to talk to them about those things. So your parent might not feel the same way. So, just saying. But I definitely would recommend this book to young women. I would say probably about 16-ish and up. I feel like that's a better range, because it is a coming of age book, and it is more so involving different aspects of womanhood that you know, the younger generation is not ready to hear yet, but that goes back to me asking, is sheltering helping or ruining your child? You know, that's to each his own, and everybody is going to feel a different way about it, but I feel like giving them certain aspects of your life as a parent will help them more so understand your reasoning for not allowing them to do something or allowing them to do something. So that's my stance on that. But it definitely touched on a bunch of different things like self-love and understanding yourself and what's important. Is definitely important not to allow other people to dictate how you feel about yourself, because sometimes people project their own fears and insecurities onto you, and you start to believe those insecurities within yourself. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed reading this, and I did not expect to read it as fast as I did. I really felt like I was binge watching like a series. So this was definitely a good read. Now I'm looking for something else to read, and if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know, because now I'm looking for another book to read, and I'm definitely going to need a December book. So definitely if you guys have any questions or any comments about anything that I've already shared, please feel free to ask. But overall, this was a really good book. Really good book. And again, just so you guys know that I like this one. It says Dream, Design, and Achieve. These are our bookmarks that we have available online. I hope that you guys will go and check those out. And if you haven't already, because I will be putting my full book review on the website, please go ahead and subscribe to our website so that you can have updates on different writing ideas, topics, tips, any book reviews that you are thinking about reading or haven't already. You should read a book called A Family That Lies. I think it's the name. It's a 2-part book. Lakeisha Johnson. Okay. That seems perfect, because then if I read that, then I have something else for the next month. So I'm definitely going to look into that. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm about to write that down right now. A Family That Lies. And Lakeisha. Wait, what is it? Look, yeah, that's Lakeisha. Lakeisha Johnson. Wrong. And you can't always read my books because they have a group. Yes, absolutely. I actually already downloaded your book onto my Kindle. So I'm definitely going to read that. So thank you for letting me know that. And that's a 3-part. So, oh wait, okay. So your 3rd book comes out at the end of this year. Okay, that's great. Okay, and that is Novelist Diva. No, that's not what you say. I'm sorry, I don't have glasses on. Novelist Davis. So please go check her out. She has 2 books out right now. I actually have those on my Instagram account right now, so you could definitely go check that out. I believe I have it linked to her page, so you can go and look at that. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. This was my pre-book review on Hurricane Summer, and this is Writer's Block Cafe, Cafe Talk, Unfiltered Truth. If you have any topics or concerns that you would like to discuss, please feel free to DM me and let me know, and I will definitely be on to talk about it. This book definitely gave me some talking points and topics that I could definitely go and write on my blog, so I send you the link and screenshot both books. Okay, thank you, my dear. I'm gonna check my my messages in a minute. I think I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna put this on. Okay, thank you. I will definitely do that. Thank you. I will definitely do that. Oh, thank you. Okay, so that was my pre-book review for Hurricane Summer. You can find a full book review on my website, writersblockcafe.com. If you're not already a member to the site, please go and become one. We're doing a 30% off promotion on all products and services when you sign up. So don't miss out, and have a good day, my dears. Love you guys.